trailing by 4. O.J. Howard is split to the right side. They look for Howard. They've got him. One man to beat. He can't get him. Touchdown, Alabama.
Throwing short to Charles Sims out of the backfield. Nice move by Sims. Spinning, he goes in. Touchdown. One goal. Doug Martin. And he tries to break through the wall, reaching for the goal line. The signal is touchdown.
First and 10 from the 20, 2 timeouts remaining. Winston over the middle, caught. Touchdown, Cameron Briggs. More
Play action and outside the pocket and deep downfield, and it's caught on the deflection by Adam Humphries for the touchdown. Sean Jackson turns around, Willie Mays tight catch, and Deshaun Jackson, touchdown! My goodness, 80 yards.
He throws, end zone, touchdown, Mike Evans.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone again. Jump ball, Godwin's got a touchdown, Penn State.
Get him, Jay! What you gonna do?
All right. Better late than never, but never late is better. Needless to say, this is JT again, back with the 14th episode of the Buc Ball Podcast. This is the New York Giants review, New England Patriots preview. This is probably going to be a game time podcast coming out. Couldn't get to it last night like I wanted to. But let's go ahead and get started with the 5 good and 5 bad takeaways from the game, as I always do. Number 1, special teams. Anger is as good a weapon as we've had on special teams in so many years. And then we lose Russell Shepard, and it seems like we haven't even missed a beat. Ryan Smith and all these guys, they're playing great special teams. Now, obviously, you don't want your punter out there on the field. You wish you could end every drive with a kick or a touchdown. But nevertheless, if we do have to punt, it's good to have somebody that's going to drop it down inside the 10 almost every single time. And it's good to have gunners that can get down there and stop somebody for to catch the ball and make them call for a catch. Or if it seems like the ball is going to go in the end zone, they just run right up and grab it, snatch it out, and the other person's sitting right there waiting to hold it down at the 1. So you can't beat that. No. The second thing I've seen, and this is what I love to see, is every time the running game gets going, this gets Winston into a rhythm. And when the running game's going, we spread the ball out all over the field very good. There's obviously still a very good chemistry with him and Brait, him and Evans. Got to get that connection with Deshaun Jackson, but we're going to go over that in one of the 5 bad things that I noticed. 3, Grimes looks like he's playing 22 years old. I did hear something on Twitter that it was like a NFL inside the game type thing, but they said, Eli Manning said he's going to go after 28 all day. Now, we all know 28 is Vernon Hargreaves. He's saying that because Vernon's not been playing up to his first-round status. Tackling, yes. Coverage, no. But Brent Grimes looks to be one of the keys to our secondary, especially with all of our safeties getting rotated in and out, some injuries there. Then you lack of experience or people not playing up to their draft status. I think Hargreaves is going to be okay. This is only our 3rd game. Most teams are already on their 4th game. 4th thing I've seen, our linebacker depth. I was so worried coming into this game that having Levante David and Quan Alexander out would mean death to our secondary because those guys are very good in coverage too, as much as they are in run. Now, Beckwith and Adarius Glanton aren't the best coverage players. Adarius Glanton did have a bad away on a 3rd down to kill the drive. Beckwith is very good in the run. He's always run the ball. And he isn't playing bad. He's not playing bad at all. But the only thing is, this is Tom Brady we're fixing to be facing, and it looks like we're going to be without our 2-star linebackers again. The fifth thing I seen is our interior offensive line. Marpet still had a couple low snaps, but other than that, him, Pamphil, and Pamphil and Sweezy are getting some serious push. They're opening holes. They're blocking well, and PFF has also said that DeMar Dawson and Donovan Smith were among the best rated tackles that didn't allow quarterback pressure through week 4. So there's that. Now, we're going to go get into the 5 bad takeaways that I've seen. The points that we left on the board, man, this game could have been almost 11 or 12 points ahead. Could have damn near been over. Instead, we let the Giants come back, and that's what you do. It's a good fourth quarter comeback win. A lot of the times, that's where the Bucs usually let us down. It was a great fourth quarter comeback, but you have to put away the bad teams. The Giants are 0-4. I don't consider them a bad team, but they're a beatable team, and whenever you have an opportunity to score points, you need to put them away. Second thing, going from the best third down defense to almost last. Now, this is also attributed to having our injuries in the beginning of the season. That Minnesota game probably threw us off whack, out of whack the most. We had a good third down defense against Chicago. I don't think we were even giving up 50% of our third downs in the Chicago game, but the Minnesota game and this New York Giants game is put us almost towards the bottom in our third down defense, which is a huge step down, almost from top to bottom. The third thing is no outside rush. Noah Spence is in a sling again. Just seen that we let Jacque Smith go, which is very unfortunate. I was hoping to see him and Noah Spence hitting the edges, even though both of them had their injury problems. I was hoping to see both of them on the outside edges because they're both relatively young. Robert Ayers is getting older. So that's probably going to be where we're going to go in the draft. Now, our interior is getting pushed. They are, which means that it seems that the quarterback should be going either to the left or the right, trying to bail out the inside of the pocket, and your rush defenders should be there to close them in. But it's just not happening. They're getting washed down the line. I think Jacque Smith only played 7 snaps in that game. Maybe he had another setback. I'm sure we'll know a few things in a couple days. But the pass rush and the secondary just can't seem to be all healthy at the same time. But it still is a long season. It's very early in the season. Just because we have all these new pieces and we have so much hype on us and we run Hard Knocks and blah, 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 that doesn't mean that we're going to have everything figured out. We're not one of the consistently great teams yet, as much as we would like to be. But got to keep that in perspective. Number 4, we still have no picks. And as much as that is discouraging, Eli Manning and Case Keenum aren't Tom Brady. Tom Brady, if we do get another pick, or if we do get any picks, it's definitely going to have to be off tip passes, because Brady is not going to make boneheaded moves unless our defense can get to him. Once you start hitting Tom Brady, he starts seeing ghosts. Now, we only have 1 sack. That's another thing. We only have 1 sack. We got to be able to get to Brady to knock him off his game. That is the only way you're going to win. That is it. Let's see. The 5th thing, the deep ball. And this is going to continue to be on the 5 bad things that I've seen, 5 bad takeaways from every game. It's going to continue to be one of the main talking points because Deshaun Jackson is a diva receiver. Now, that doesn't mean that he's a selfish player. He's just a wide receiver that wants to catch the ball, and that's his specialty, is deep ball or deep plays. That's what we brought him here to do. That's what he gets paid to do. That's what he loves to do. Now, a couple of balls did hit his hands. In the NFL, you are going to have some contested balls. You still think you should be able to come down with a few of those. I mean, he could have easily had 5 catches if he hadn't dropped a few, but the defense did make a couple nice plays on him. But either way, the windows are very small in the NFL. But let's go ahead and jump into the preview. This is more of a stats-based preview, but there's some interesting stuff here. Now, the Patriots have the 32nd overall defense. They're giving up 456 yards a game, 7.2 yards per play, and 32 points a game. 44% on third down. That is a little less than the average. but they have 31 penalties for 267 yards. Now, in comparison, we've only played 3 games, so we're giving up 21.3 points per game. We have the number 30 defense. We're giving up 395 yards a game, 5.7 yards per play. So the Patriots are almost giving up 10 yards per play, at least 8. And we're giving up 50% on third down. Now here's the other thing. This is what I love. This isn't really something that a lot of people look at, but we only have 14 penalties. I think for like 90-something yards. That is awesome compared to the old Bucs defense that was a penalty machine, and the Bucs offense. Let's see here. They are, I'm not sure which number this is. They're near the bottom. I think they're 30. They're the number 30 passing defense. They're giving up 9.4 yards a pass, 324 yards a game. They've given up 19 plays of 20 plus and 4 of 40 plus. As opposed to us, we have the number 31 ranked passing D. We're giving up 7.5 yards a pass, 315 yards a game. We've already given up 7 of 20 plus and 4 of 40 plus. And I bring it up again, we only have 1 sack. So they're definitely giving up explosive plays. 19 of 20 plus are air to yards or yards to air. But Jameis is one of the top players in that stat category, in that metric. So if they're giving up all these explosive plays, we're going to be able to take advantage of that. The only key is going to be making Jameis stay upright. And according to the Patriots, they feel like letting Jamie Collins go, Chandler Jones go, and now Rob Ninkovich is retired. And you have all these really good players, and Bill Belichick feels like, oh, okay, well, since these guys are going to be freelancers and they want to play how they want, we're going to let them go. Well, guess what? Now it's coming back to bite him in the ass. And also, Matt Patricia is not really figuring out how to use this talent-deprived defense that he once had, or that he has, compared to the one he had last year. And honestly, I think he was one of the best defensive coaches in the league at making adjustments. But this year, he just can't seem to figure it out. Now, they have given up a ton of yards to the Panthers and the Houston Texans. Both of the quarterbacks are running quarterbacks. Winston is not a mobile quarterback. He can scramble and he can extend plays, but he is not a mobile quarterback. Now, also, you got to think, we're getting Doug Martin back this game. So, I'm wondering what the workload's going to be like. You know, obviously he has fresh legs. We don't know how fresh that means. Fresh could mean, he's not going to have warm legs. Fresh could mean that he's going to be ready to go. But I still think that Jacquizz Rodgers is going to be in the rotation just as much as Doug. I don't care if it is Doug is coming back in the 4th game. And also, Charles Sims still has to fit in there. Also, Peyton Barber still has to fit in there. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. But if we can get Jameis into a rhythm against this Patriots defense, I think we're going to be set. Now, I'm not going to say that our defense is going to hold up. I definitely think that this week's going to be a shootout. I also thought that last week's game was going to be a shootout against the Giants. Turns out it wasn't really. It could have been more lopsided than it was. But our defense held up pretty strong. Now, again, that was against Eli Manning. This test is against Tom Brady, arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. But nevertheless, I hope the Bucs can do something in prime time. I also think that it's going to be a very wet game. I'm looking at the weather report, and it's almost 90% all the way up until 9:30 or 10. But we all know how Florida weather is. That could change any minute. It could change minute to minute, hour to hour, and definitely can't trust day to day. But this is JT signing off for the Buc Ball Podcast, episode 14. This was the Giants and Patriots preview review, and I hope that we get this win. I'm going to go ahead and give my prediction. 27-24 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, guys. Have a good one.